supposed to feel.
A very good evening, welcome to Champions League Live this Tuesday night as we kick off match day 4 of the UEFA Champions League league phase. Good evening, welcome to LFS for this one. A huge game tonight as we watch Liverpool take on Real Madrid. Two European giants clash once again, and this time with very different contexts around where they come into this one with. Liverpool with just one win in their last 5 league games and a 4-game losing streak that ended at the weekend at home to Aston Villa. They're hoping for another inspired home performance tonight here at Anfield. And a Real Madrid side who probably have had Liverpool's number by the last time they met. Over the last 10 years, it has been Real Madrid's happiest opponent. But tonight, it's not going to be easy for either side. They know that. The quality is immense. But the second coming of Xabi Alonso on his return to Anfield after he was here last season with Bayer Leverkusen and left on quite the end of a big defeat for Liverpool as well. It's an interesting night for emotions as Trent Alexander-Arnold returns to Anfield for the very first time after making his move to Real Madrid this summer. All that context amongst the two of the best football teams on the planet facing off at a historic stadium that is steeped in Champions League history. That's coming up at 8 o'clock. 2 games that have concluded from our early kickoffs this evening in the Champions League. Napoli have been held to a 0-0 draw by Eintracht Frankfurt, a side that were beaten by Liverpool 5-1 last time out, but neither side could find the net tonight. Very unlike Frankfurt games as of recent in the Champions League. Each of their 3 going into tonight's match had featured 6 goals, 18 goals in Frankfurt games, but none tonight. A 0-0 draw with Napoli and Arsenal, a continuation of a fantastic start to the Champions League season. Bukayo Saka's penalty and a Mikel Merino brace in the second half secured 3 points for the Gunners for the 4th time this season in the Champions League, and they go top of the table and haven't conceded a goal yet. An unbelievable defence from Arsenal. Also tonight, 7 games at 8 o'clock, including Liverpool v Real Madrid. We'll keep an eye on the other 6 as Atletico Madrid host Union Saint-Gilloise, Monaco head to Bodo Glimt, Juventus face Sporting, Olympiacos hosting PSV Eindhoven. A real clash of titans at the Bac des Princes as well this evening. 2 sides who've won each of their opening 3 games in the Champions League this season face off as the reigning champions PSG host Bayern Munich, and Copenhagen head to Spurs in North London. So 1 English team's already got a win in the bag in Arsenal, Liverpool and Spurs hoping to do the same at home this evening, but a very different and intriguing context here at Anfield as Liverpool take on a Real Madrid side who they haven't had major joy against, but Arne Slot is 1 for 1 in terms of wins against Real Madrid as Liverpool boss. Can he make it 2 out of 2, or will Madrid get their revenge for Liverpool's domination of them here last season? We'll find out. Kick-off at Anfield between Liverpool and Real Madrid is next. welcome back to Champions League Live this evening. Great to have you with us for this one here at Anfield. Liverpool v Real Madrid. Games do not get any bigger than this, and we're only in November. But this is a huge game for both of these two football clubs. Liverpool looking to return to what they knew was their highest standards last season, and a repetition of last season's chaos week, really, when they faced Real Madrid and Manchester City back-to-back. A bit of deja vu this week as the same happens again. Let's have a look at the two teams for this one tonight, starting with Liverpool. And Georgi Marmadashvili continues in goal. No Alisson, still out injured, but could be expected to return at the weekend or after the international break. Conor Bradley starts at right back, and a back four is the exact same that faced Real Madrid last season. Konate and Van Dijk, the centre-back partnership, with Robertson at left back. Ryan Gravenberch continues in midfield after his scoring return to the Liverpool lineup on Saturday evening. Alexis McAllister and Dominic Szoboszlai, a familiar-looking midfield for Liverpool this evening. Florian Wirtz is the only change to the Liverpool side that beat Aston Villa 2-0 here on Saturday night, as he comes in for Cody Gakpo, who drops to the bench. Mo Salah also returned to scoring ways at the weekend, and Ugo Ekitike seems to have slotted in perfectly at the centre-forward position for Liverpool since his signing in the summer. Can he get a big goal in the Champions League tonight? On the bench for the Reds this evening, Woodman, Muscure, Gomez, Kerkez, Endo, Jones, Gakpo, Chiesa and Rio Gamoa. No Isak, no Frimpong, no Alisson, all still out injured. For Real Madrid, Thibaut Courtois starts in goal. Right back is Fede Valverde, no Dani Carvajal, and Trent Alexander-Arnold only fit enough for the bench. Militao and Dean Howson are the centre-backs, with Carreras at left back. Aurelien Tchouameni is at centre midfield alongside Eduardo Camavinga and Arda Güler. Jude Bellingham is further forward alongside Vinicius Jr. and Kylian Mbappe, who's in roaring form. Got a brace at the weekend against Valencia, and he will look to add to his score sheet tonight against Liverpool. On the bench for Madrid, Lunin, Gonzalez, Alexander-Arnold, Asencio, Garcia, Mendy, Ceballos, Diaz, Endrick, Rodrigo and Gonzalo Garcia this evening. Two huge teams, a huge game, and a big game under the lights at Anfield, of course. Champions League nights, there's nothing quite like it. 7 games kicking off at 8 o'clock, and we have them all live for you next. A very good evening. Welcome to Champions League Live. Thank you very much for spending your evening with us tonight, and thank you all for getting involved with the stream. Great to have you your company this evening for this one. As I say, I mean, it goes without saying, you see Liverpool, Real Madrid on the fixture list. You don't really need to say very much to build up to this one. The history speaks for itself. 21 European Cups or Champions League between these two. Real Madrid with 15, Liverpool with 6. And of course, quite a few Champions League finals over the last few years between these two sides. Most recently in 2022, when Vinicius Jr. scored the only goal of that final in Paris to secure another Champions League trophy for Real Madrid. And they will be looking to return to the top table of European football and to be 16-time champions, because 15's not enough, even for Real Madrid. And they take on a Liverpool side tonight who know a lot about this team over the last few years, and they have not been faring quite well against them by that game here at Anfield last season. Liverpool will kick towards the Kop end in the first half, it seems. Real Madrid seemingly winning the toss and using that to give them any sort of benefit they can. Both teams in their home strips, Liverpool all red, Real Madrid all white. Two famous strips, and we're underway at Anfield for this one this evening. Great to have you with us, and a massive, massive night of action ahead for us. As I say, we'll keep up to date with all the other 6 games that are live, kicking off at 8 o'clock as well this evening. Welcome in, Paul. Thank you very much for joining us. Do get involved in the chat, what you think's going to happen, scorers, what you think the score's going to be here this evening at Anfield. Here's Conor Bradley for Liverpool. Down this right-hand side. Lays it out wide to Salah. Makes the move down the right-hand side. Salah's come alive already onto his left foot. Driving inside. Salah lays it out wide now to Robertson. into Wirtz, back to Robertson, who goes for the early cross, and that's cleared away by Eder Militao. But a good offensive start from Liverpool. Here's McAllister. He will hit one from range and hits it right at Gravenberch, but it bounces back to Wirtz. As I say, the only change to the Liverpool 11 that started here on Saturday night. Flochi and Wirtz starting off that left-hand side where Cody Gakpo would be playing if he was in the side. Here's Connor Bradley bursting forward. Ekitike, nice little flick, but too far ahead of Flochi and Wirtz, who made the run. And Ekitike certainly has the coolness and composure to make those sorts of skill moves. And on that occasion, just ahead of the German in Flochi and Wirtz. Andy Robertson a bit too aggressive on that occasion. On Eduardo Camavinga, and a free kick to Real Madrid deep in their own half. Yeah, quite a simple one for the referee this evening. Our referee is Istvan Kovacs from Romania. Courtois to take the free kick long. Nicely retrieved by Robertson and fired away by Van Dijk. Further on running Ugo Ekitike, testing Dean Huyson. Ekitike occupying the defenders, now finding Wirtz. Wirtz to the left, trying to work his way into the box. Two Real Madrid players on his way, and Camavinga stepping in as well to help out defensively. As Wirtz wins it back, and fairly so, says the referee. Ekitike drifting in and around the box, and a real tussle, and it's going to be a free kick to Real Madrid. And as Ekitike deemed to have fouled Fede Valverde. You can see it again here. Bellingham and Valverde in competition, trying to hold off Ekitike, and he's battling and wrestling with Valverde. I think that's a little soft for a foul on Valverde, if I'm honest. I think Bellingham plays his part in pushing Ekitike into Fede Valverde, but free kick to Madrid anyway. As I say, a positive offensive start from Liverpool. Got on the front foot early, trying to put pressure early doors on Real Madrid here. Guerreras back to Huyson, and across to the right hand side for Valverde. Pressured by Wirtz, and good pressing by Robertson. Although Wirtz, the ball had just crossed the sideline as he received the ball from Andy Robertson. A throw into Real Madrid. We'll see it again. Good pressure from Robertson on Camavinga again, and whether that did fully cross the line is another question, but the assistant on that side felt it did, and a throw in will come the visitors' way. As Ibrahima Konate has been linked himself with a move to Real Madrid when his contract expires next summer, but he's firing down that right-hand side and winning Liverpool a throw-in off Jude Bellingham. The two number 5s going at it there. And Ibrahima Konate winning that tussle. Bradley will take this throw. Right into Gravenberch. Lots of Real Madrid bodies there to receive and retrieve. As Courtois sends it long again. Van Dijk in a first-time ball over the top by McAllister. A bouncing ball. It's a little awkward. And again, the pressure of Liverpool again. Sending Liverpool, Real Madrid, the long clearance. But I think there was an offside flag up against Ugo Ekitike. And another free kick to Real Madrid. Well, Xabi Alonso, as I said, did return to Anfield as a manager in the Champions League last season, around about this time of the season. And with his Bayer Leverkusen side, of course, Florian Wirtz and Jeremy Frimpong both played for Leverkusen that night against Xabi Alonso, or for Xabi Alonso against Liverpool, and ended up coming away with a 4-0 deficit after 90 minutes. Did Leverkusen. Here comes Vinicius Jr. First attack here for Madrid. Vinicius Jr. Awkward cross. McAllister didn't do really well on that challenge, but he made up for it. And it's hooked away by Gravenberch, but a chance for Ekitike to run in behind, but Madrid have it under control. Right, our first goal of the night has come in that huge game between the reigning champions PSG and Bayern Munich, and it is gone the way of Bayern Munich, who have gone to Paris and are leading the champions by a goal to nil in that one. Luis Diaz, the former Liverpool player, of course, has opened the scoring after just 4 minutes, and it is PSG nil, Bayern Munich 1 there in Paris. Here's Vinicius Jr. dribbling towards the box again. Lots of Liverpool players around him. Conor Bradley stepping in nicely there to defeat Vinicius Jr. And he wins Liverpool a throw-in down that right-hand side. Dominic Soberschlei in the chat says, hi, come on you Reds as well. Thank you very much for joining us. Should be busy on the field, but he's in the chat. Bradley takes the throw-in down the line, and Salah, little held to, but fairly. Salah tries the first time, ball in behind. Again for Ekitike. It just seems like at times Liverpool are trying to get Ekitike in one-on-one situations with the Real Madrid defence. They've done it a number of times in this first half so far, as Vinicius Jr. in a one-on-one with Bradley. And Bradley just a bit too physical on Vinicius Jr., who riles up the away crowd there. And you'll see it again here. Yeah, Conor Bradley just beaten to it, and good shielding from Vinicius Jr., shielding the ball, and Bradley really had no opportunity to get to the ball there. And a Real Madrid free kick high up here on this left-hand side. And that pocket of Real Madrid supporters that's filled out the away contingent here at Anfield is whereabouts the free kick is being taken from. Arda Güler goes short to Vinicius Jr., who will lift it into the box. Up and away by Konate. And Camavinga has to return it to his defender as Szoboszlai was intent on his press there, but just a little bit too late on the scene. Nice ball into Kylian Mbappe. Lays it back to Güler. Switch it out to the left, and again in space is Vinicius Jr., but Bradley's watching closely. Back to Caoimhan, and now Guedes. Güler. Huysen. Across to Eder Militao. A bit of possession here for Real Madrid, probably for the first time in the evening. They've had a little bit of possession. Bellingham. Valverde trying to return the favour. And that goes straight out of play down that right-hand side for a Liverpool throw-in. Long kick by Georgi Mamardashvili, and all the way returned to Thibaut Courtois in the opposing goal. Oh, ball that was cleared away by Madrid hit the referee. Liverpool thought they were going to get a bit of luck there, but the referee does have to, by right, play a drop ball to Real Madrid, which he does. Here's Huysen. Again, a ball that was very loose and given away as Konate picks up for Liverpool. Szoboszlai now to Salah, trying to take his man in Guedes in a one-on-one battle, but Guedes did very well there. And taking the touch away from Salah as Huysen was beaten by Wirtz for physicality, and Szoboszlai's into the box, and he cuts it back for McAllister, whose effort is over the bar. But again, that high-intensity press by Liverpool. Flochi and Wirtz, the one winning it back. Cut back into the box for Szoboszlai, who laid it off to his midfield teammate and McAllister, who strode onto the ball and just couldn't keep the shot down. Swung it wide, but Alexis McAllister hoping for a bit of deja vu for him tonight. He scored in this fixture last season, opened the scoring for Liverpool in the 52nd minute, and he came the closest of any player so far to finding the first goal of the night here. Here's Mamardashvili to Konate. Ping ball into midfield, and Ekitike there to receive it. Salah with a beautiful first touch, and now pings it in behind for Ekitike, who's got a bit of a tussle on his hands, and he was outnumbered there just about. was Hugo Ekitike. Again, Real Madrid being moved around by the Liverpool attackers. He's Carreras. Getting a bit of pressure on Bellingham, but he holds up to that well. It's Vinicius Jr. now, down the left-hand side. Got Bradley for company, as well as Ryan Gravenberch, and Vinicius Jr. all of his own accord there. Put the ball out of play. Liverpool throw. And the crowd quite up for it. The point was made that on Saturday evening here at Anfield, it was absolutely rocking. And that seemingly helped the team to a performance that was much better than what we'd seen in previous games, and the atmosphere bouncing again as Bradley with that crossfield pass into Ekitike, takes it nicely. Strides onto it, lays it off to Szoboszlai, back to McAllister, now out to Wirtz. Liverpool just trying to link up quickly. And a crossfield pass by Conor Bradley was just quite exquisite. Right to Hugo Ekitike. As I say, the back four for Liverpool tonight, the defenders are the exact same that started this game last season against Real Madrid. Bradley at right back, Robertson at left back, and Konate and Van Dijk at centre backs. Similar theme to maybe the weekend when Arne Slot picked 9 of the 11 that started on Saturday night. The players that played for Liverpool last season and won the league with Liverpool last season, 8 of the 11 tonight have had that similar record as Salah against Carreras. Salah gets the better of his defender, works it into the box, and a little bit of defending there from Dean Howson to clear it away. But again, Salah trying to impose himself, and Liverpool looking to be the aggressors here so far. Real Madrid holding firm, but Liverpool asking questions as Robertson flicks in behind, but Ekitike again just slightly offside. 13 minutes gone, Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. And we have a goal to tell you about in Turin between Juventus and Sporting. And it is another a visiting side who have scored. It is Maximiliano Araujo that has given Sporting the lead there in Turin. And it's Juventus 0, Sporting 1. Sporting side looking to get their third victory in the Champions League this season, after losing on match day 2. One last time out, looking to make it 2 on the bounce. Sporting, the Juventus side who are yet to win in the Champions League so far this campaign. 2 draws and 1 defeat. And they trail early doors in Turin there. Szoboszlai stepping in to get a deflection to that ball that was being played back by Madrid. Here's Courtois under pressure, but he does not look fazed. Courtois never really does he? Oh, that's beautiful from Conor Bradley. Wonderful little touch. Beautiful. Just to deftly take the ball down. And that's just eradicated all that pressure that Madrid were trying to apply on Liverpool there. That effortless touch by Conor Bradley. Szoboszlai. Wirtz back to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai, lovely little ball out wide here to Robertson. He added the width back to the Hungarian. Returns it to Andy Robertson again. Van Dijk going for the long diagonal out to Salah. And that one a little bit too far away from Mo Salah to retrieve, but it's not often that happens with those two. Just about missed their link up, but Van Dijk's got it, that in his locker, no doubt. Switch ball there by Camavinga, finding Carreras, and out to the left-hand side for Vinicius Jr. Inside to Mbappe. There's a bit of room in the pocket here. Back out wide it goes to Vinicius Jr. Mbappe's just trying to stay around this area. Here he is. Lays it off to Bellingham. And back to Caoimhan as Liverpool deep in shape. Everybody back for Liverpool. in a compact shape. Here's Vinicius Jr. up against Bradley again. Salah's on the scene as well, but Bradley sees off his marker. Goulet recycles to Caoimhan. Or to Goulet. Right to the left again to Vinicius Jr. And Travella at a cross, blocked by Gravenberg. Vinicius Jr. recycles it again, back to Goulet and into Bellingham. Bellingham across now to Camavinga. Stepped onto his left foot, well charged down by Salah, who was in the mix. And now Liverpool can spring away with Ekitike, who's on the counter-attack. It's 3-on-4. Madrid getting bodies back, but Ekitike will hit one from range. And that bounced back. McAllister in a tussle, losing out to Camavinga on that occasion. We're going to see players taking those long-range efforts, wanting the glory goal. It's Vinicius Jr. finding the ball to Mbappe, who absolutely skied that shot well over the bar. And a wry, coy cheer from the home crowd to that one from the Frenchman. Again, first real time we've seen Vinicius Jr. poke the ball towards the edge of the box, and he worked it across to Bellingham. Bellingham just laid it off first time to Kylian Mbappe. He just couldn't keep his shot down, but we know he can find the back of the net. No doubt about that. Kylian Mbappe. He's already got 13 La Liga goals this season in 11 matches. A total of 18 goals and 2 assists in 14 appearances for Real Madrid this season. 3 in the Champions League, of which he scored 5 goals. So he's in hot form, is Kylian Mbappe. Scored in each of his last 2 games, both at the Bernabeu for Real Madrid. His last away goal came in a 1-0 win away at Getafe on the 19th of October. And his last Champions League goal was in the 5-0 win over Kairat Almaty, where he got the hat-trick. 2 goals from open play and a penalty for Kylian Mbappe. Right, so let's update you from around the grounds. Another goal to tell you about that's come in Turkey this evening. Or Greece, sorry, actually, apologies. Going to get rollickings for that one, as Salah double challenged out of the way there by Carreras, and Bellingham tracking back. Olympiacos and PSV, that fixture this evening, and it is 1-0 to the home side. Olympiacos have taken the lead there, and Gelson Martins has given Olympiacos the lead in Greece. And also a goal in North London to tell you about, between Spurs and Copenhagen. And after back-to-back league home defeats for Spurs, they're looking to get back to home winning ways. Well, they've started really well in doing so. They've got a 1-0 lead against FC Copenhagen. Brennan Johnson, with a really nice finish, has given Spurs the lead. Excuse me. Madrid in possession here with Vinicius Jr. Mbappe, and back to Huysen. Carreras. Madrid trying to break down Liverpool and unsuccessful at the moment. At Real English, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Says, what a mouth-watering encounter we have in our hands here. Yes, indeed. It seems like these two always play each other in the Champions League as of recent. Of course, in the league phase last season here at Anfield, and the league phase this season at Anfield. All went swimmingly for Liverpool last time around. As I say, 2-0 win. McAllister and Gakpo the scorers. Mbappe tried to work it back into midfield there. So Watchalong was in his way. He's chased by Bellingham. And the ball deflects into the midfield of Real Madrid again. You take it down with Caoimhan. Goulet works it back out wide here to Valverde. Of course, a bit of a problem at the minute for Real Madrid at right back. Kenny Carvajal out injured for quite a while, and Trent Alexander-Arnold only returning from injury, but Fede Valverde, as he's done multiple times before, is deputising at right back for Madrid tonight. In the 20th minute, a rise to Anfield in remembering their number 20 in Diogo Jota. There's a little bit of a sloppy ball there by Conor Bradley, a little bit too heavy. Liverpool a little bit penned in at the moment, but solid in their shape. And I have to say, while the Anfield crowd are remembering Diogo Jota for this special moment that we see in every game at Anfield in the 20th minute now, which is quite beautiful in that, of course, Xabi Alonso, Dean Howson and Trent Alexander-Arnold all went to lay wreaths and pay their respects to the Diogo Jota memorial that is outside Anfield, and the continuation of those who come and pay their respects to a footballer taken far too early. And just important to mention that moment. A free kick here to Real Madrid in Liverpool's half. So distance out, but Liverpool again with everybody back to help to defend this situation. A good 30-40 yards out. This one, Sculler over it, left-footed, fizzed ball towards the box, and it sailed its way out behind the goal for a goal kick. Dean Howson was the target, and the target wasn't found by Arda Güler on that occasion. So around about halfway through the first half here at Anfield already. Goalless between these two. Real Madrid, who've won all three of their Champions League games to this point. Nice distribution there from Marmudashvili to Salah, and Bradley on the underlap. Bursting away, he's got Vinicius Jr. trying to cover him, and he's wrestled to the ground there, Bradley by Vinny Jr. And Vinicius Jr. is going to get us the first yellow card of the night. And a really positive start from Conor Bradley defensively, and then on the attack there, linking up with Salah so nicely. And Vinicius Jr. having to curtail the Northern Irishman's run, and he gets a free kick for his troubles, Bradley, and a yellow card for Vinicius Jr. We have a goal in Paris to tell you about. We'll let you know what's happened there after this Liverpool free kick. Dominic Szoboszlai is over it, around about 25, 26 yards out. Very quite far to the right-hand side of the goal. Opportunity for Liverpool to put one into the box. Szoboszlai lifting it round the back post. Konate was there to try and get on to the end of it. Just sailed over his head a little bit. Konate on the score sheet last time out for Liverpool away at Frankfurt, along with his centre-back partner in Virgil van Dijk. That's quite interestingly the second Champions League game that both of those two have scored for Liverpool in the last two seasons. Konate was close there. Back to Van Dijk. Will again try that long diagonal to Salah. This one a little bit too narrow, and Salah unable to bring it in once more. Certainly well in the wheelhouse of those two, that sort of movement. Well, PSG thought they had got an equaliser, but it has been disallowed, so it is not going the champions' way tonight so far. The goal has been disallowed, so it is still PSG 0, Bayern Munich 1. And the referee confirming that decision by VAR for offside. Real English says can't bet against Mbappe with the form he's in. And Andy says, hey man and all, Szoboszlai, Liverpool's players of the season so far. Yeah, Dominic Szoboszlai's been quite remarkable this season for Liverpool. His level has been miles above anybody else consistently, as Wirtz wins it back here for Liverpool. High, unable to carry it further than his first marker, and Real Madrid can come away with the ball. But again, Liverpool pressing Real Madrid really high and winning the ball in really high up areas. Here's Vinicius Jr. to try and return the favour to Liverpool with a bit of pressure here. Out wide to Carreras, who's well marshalled by Conor Bradley. Stands him up. Although Szoboszlai a little forceful with his first time ball. Gives it away again. Mbappe down the left to Vinicius Jr. Back to Carreras. Carreras to Vinicius Jr. All the way back to Dean Howson. Ball all the way back with Dean Howson, the last man for Real Madrid. All inside the Liverpool half. Liverpool kind of defending in a 4-2-4 at times and dropping into a 4-5-1 out of the possession, as there's a little bit of a gap and a shot from Aurelian Tchouameni that's dragged well wide from range. You see this again. Wirtz was the battle and Fede Valverde won the ball, but Liverpool crowd weren't too happy that the referee kind of got in Alexis McAllister's way in trying to win the ball back for Liverpool on that occasion, but no real damage done ultimately. Deft flick on header by Salah. Ekitike was beaten to it, but Wirtz snuck in behind the defenders, and he's got an opportunity here. Lays it across the bush line. What a save by Courtois. Fizzed back by Robertson. Salah. Wonderful from Thibaut Courtois. What a save. And Salah just fouled there on the far left side. But what a movement from Liverpool again. Ekitike drags all the defenders to him, as well as does Salah. And the ball in behind from Real Madrid, a little bit loose. Wirtz sneaks in behind, just lays it across beautifully on a plate for Dominik Szoboszlai. And great save by Courtois from point blank range. Szoboszlai's effort was a really nice one. It wasn't poor, it was nicely, cleanly hit and was going away from the keeper. And Courtois, one of the best one-on-one goalkeepers there is in the world. And on that occasion, a massive save to deny Liverpool and Dominik Szoboszlai. But a free kick to the Reds here. Robertson on the left side to take it. Whips one in with his left foot. Up in the air it goes, and behind by Van Dijk. Goal kick. Welcome in ZM7, great to have you with us. Thank you very much for joining us again. I do remember you. Thank you very much for joining us. And Real English says, as Jusmir Correras looks like a blast from the past. I haven't actually watched very much of him, if I'm honest. Alvaro Correras, and so far this evening he's had a bit of a tricky job against Mo Salah, as many defenders do. Courtois sends one flying. Van Dijk wins the header. Wirtz with a flick on, and Szoboszlai, nice deft movement there. And Liverpool win the throw in down the left hand side. Mamadashvili. Back to Bradley on the right side. Lofting one forward. Ekitike's in behind again. He's beat his man one-on-one, but Courtois was there again to fire it well clear as Bradley wins it back for Liverpool. Bradley nicely fed into Ekitike's path. Again, dragging defenders with him. Into Salah. Salah lays it back. Szoboszlai has an effort. Shot and deflected. And it's going to be a free kick on the edge of the box for Liverpool. The crowd thought a penalty was given there, but it's just going to be a free kick on the edge of the area. I think it might be for handball. We'll see it again. On Tchouameni, is it? Yeah, it comes off the arm of Tchouameni. He's outside the box, so it's... Oh, is it inside the area? That's a tight one. If he's inside the area, that's a penalty. And he's inside the area there. If that's a handball given by the referee, he's factually wrong in the positioning of it, and that should be a penalty. Well, the replay, Tchouameni's inside the box, and the referee's given a handball for the foul for a handball by Tchouameni. He thought it was outside, so it is given a free kick. But they're checking for a possible penalty, VAR, because Tchouameni was inside the box. And if this is deemed a handball, Liverpool could have a penalty here. We'll wait and see what the VAR booth will decide. And let referee Istvan Kovacs know whether he will come to the monitor and review it or whether it's a factual decision. VAR should be able to decide, but the crowd wait in anticipation and we wait to find out. See this from Szoboszlai. It does come off the hand of Tchouameni and his arm is inside the box. He's half in and half out, but his arm that touches the ball is inside the box. Therefore, if that's a handball, it's inside the box and should be a penalty. And that's what the referee's given. Handball. But he said outside the box. That's why he's given a free kick. But let's see what Istvan Kovacs will decide here, what VAR has told him. We'll wait and see. They are just making sure that it is 100% correct. Making sure this decision is correct, and it is going to be an on-field review, we believe. The referee is going to come to the monitor here, and the crowd feel that this is going to be an inevitability. But let's see what the referee will view here, and whether he will give the decision of penalty or not. Well, the ball does come off the hand of Caoimhan, there's no doubt about that. But it's inside the box, and I think, if I'm honest, the referee's given a handball outside the box. He was factually wrong in the positioning, so therefore it should be an automatic penalty because he's already given it as handball. Is this not re-refereeing the game? But it is a huge moment. We'll wait and see, and the referee has made his call. Let's hear and see what he's decided. And the decision is no penalty. No penalty. So what I can tell you is that they have said he's inside the box, Caoimhan, but the referee has had another look at it and has decided it is not handball, and therefore it's no penalty. And he is going to give a drop ball to Real Madrid here. Well, that's an interesting one. So overall, from what I can gather from that, so just to digest that, because there's a lot of information to digest in 1 minute, but the referee initially gave a free kick for a handball outside the box, but Caoimhan was inside the box. The VAR informed him of that, then told him to come to the monitor to review the handball call. He reviewed it and said no handball, no penalty. But however, from what I could see and from what I could tell, if the referee gave handball on the field for a free kick outside the box, surely if he's wrong factually of the positioning of it, but is still given handball, surely then the VAR should say you have to give a penalty because you've already given a free kick for handball. Surely. And we talked about, I said about factual decisions, and this is different. Factual, it comes down to the referee was wrong in what he called, and the fact that he said it was outside the box but it was inside, and surely the VAR should then say, referee, you're wrong, he's inside the box, penalty kick. But what they've done is said he's inside the box, but let's review the handball, which the referee had already given anyway. It just seems like it's a bit of a confusion over that one. But for me, a factual decision should be given as VAR as not getting involved in the handball situation, but rather whether or not it was inside the box. That's what they were checking, not the handball initially. But an interesting big moment. Liverpool did have a penalty here against Real Madrid last season. Mo Salah stepped up and missed it. Here's Alexis McAllister. Won the ball back there for Liverpool high up as Gravenberch strides onto it. He bobbles it out wide, finding Conor Bradley, who will whip it across deftly. And it's cleared away by Madrid. Half cleared anyway. To McAllister on the edge. Back heels it to Szoboszlai. Out wide to Robertson. 35 minutes gone. Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. But Liverpool have showed promise on the attack tonight. Some really good quality in between the lines. Lovely little combination between Ekitike and Wirtz, and a bobble and a deflection. And Ekitike just couldn't get a chance to get a shot off there. The ball evaded him. As Camavinga's being pressed intently by Robertson again. And Liverpool, the crowd absolutely adoring their sides pressing at the moment. As Wirtz's header is hooked away by Real Madrid. As Konaté's header was a little awkward, but Liverpool have possession. The crowd are absolutely loving this at the moment. Liverpool's energy, their intensity is so magnanimous. Here's Salah onto his left, trying to lay it off. Blocked off by two Wirtz, and nice ball by Konate to let Conor Bradley on the move down the right. He's got Jude Bellingham for company, but Bradley sees him off well, and now Szoboszlai. He will hit one! And it's low and hard and gathered well by Thibaut Courtois. Again, Liverpool just seem to have the momentum of the game at the moment in their favour. Just to confirm that for you, that was their 7th shot of the night for Liverpool. Their 2nd on target. And Real Madrid have had 3 shots, none on target so far. So Liverpool edging that one. And they want to throw in there. Queredas beaten to it by Conor Bradley. He's having a wonderful first half so far. The Liverpool right back. Right, so let's tell you what's happened around the grounds. There's been an equalising goal in Turin. Juventus are back on terms in that one. So that's an interesting and intriguing battle between Juventus and Sporting. Two very good European sides, and Dusan Vlahovic, the scorer there for Juventus. And it's gone from bad to worse for PSG. We'll tell you about that in a moment, because here's Ekitike on the spin, and couldn't quite find Florian Wirtz on that occasion. It's gone from bad to worse for the European champions. They thought they levelled, they've gone down 1-0, and now they're 2-0 down. Bayern Munich are running riot in Paris, and Luis Diaz has got a 2nd of the night for Munich, and it is 2-0 to Bayern in Paris against the European champions. McAllister stepping in there, and that's nicely won, beautifully won. Although Robertson a little sloppy there in possession, and here's a chance off the right hand side. He tries to go for the battle. Referee says that he was a fair challenge by Robertson. No penalty to Real Madrid in it. Now Liverpool do recover, but Robertson, squeaky bum time there. Certainly an awkward situation on that one. Here's Szoboszlai. Nice layoff by McAllister. Into the path of Bradley. Down the right comes Salah. 7 minutes of the first half to go. Salah on the right side. Well blocked by Queredas. And out for the Liverpool throw. We can tell you there hasn't been any more goals actually. Yeah, Robertson, a very good challenge there on Arda Güler. Yeah, very good decision by the referee. Great challenge by Robertson. And Güler in the own box. In his own box. A lot of people in the chat saying that should have been a Liverpool penalty. Well, we will discuss more at half-time about that situation. Only the big moment of the game so far, the big decision of the game so far. Tchouaméni rides the challenge of McAllister. And now Mbappe in space. Lots of Real Madrid bodies flooding forward as Vinicius Jr. tries to get the better of Bradley. And Bradley sees him away, and Vinicius Jr. felt he's hurt himself here, but the referee sees it out for a goal kick, lets it run, and Vinicius Jr. might have hurt his lip here. We'll see it again here. Steps inside. Bradley doesn't really do very much wrong, if I'm honest. He's on his way down. There's nothing in that. I mean, that's just really silly from Vinicius Jr., if I'm honest. There's nothing in that whatsoever. A goal in Madrid to tell you about. Atletico have taken the lead against Union Saint-Gilloise. So that's a first goal of the night for Atletico. And Julian Alvarez, the scorer there. As Van Dijk has to head away from danger. Nicely chested down by Bradley, who will ping one forward towards Florian Wirtz's path. But too much of a ping on that occasion from Bradley. And Wirtz was a passenger in that moment. Had absolutely no chance. As I was saying, Julian Alvarez with the score there for Atletico Madrid. Well, this game and the game in Bodo are the only 2 games without a goal so far in the 7 games that we're watching at 8 o'clock here in the Champions League. A real chess match between these two. Here at Anfield, you expected nothing less, but Liverpool probably been the better side so far. Here's a ball through the lines, a bit of a run, and Konate, fabulous positioning. And Arda Güler tried to play the cross, but Konate man mountain in the way of that one. Gravenberg. Weerts under pressure, spinning away from a challenge, going down and getting the free kick. He seems to have hurt his leg there, Flochy Weerts. Jude Bellingham on the scene, committed the foul. Yeah, a little late on Weerts there. Look at this from Konate. Yeah, fabulous positioning. Came off his left thigh. It's never a handball. That's what they're claiming there, Real Madrid, but not a chance. Callum says, should have been a pen, easy. Why do the refs hate Liverpool so much lately? Real English says, if he's hurt his lip, hopefully that'll prevent him from talking. Andy says, Liverpool were getting a lot of momentum after that call. Now Real Madrid are getting more of the ball now. I think it is still fairly even. I can see that what you mean in Real Madrid maybe having a little bit more of it, but at the same time, Liverpool just seem like every time they come forward, they have the energy, the passing, the precision of their movement. It's just all clicking at the minute for Liverpool, bar the goal. It's been a really good first half performance. And performance that the crowd are very much showing their appreciation for. As Robertson goes back to Mamardashvili. Fires it long again. Ekitike with a beautiful header back to Szoboszlai. And Szoboszlai will get a shot at goal! Good save, and Salah was there to try and hit the rebound, but it's deflected behind for the corner. Well, Dominic Szoboszlai, it's the second time of the night he's got the ball in that sort of area. The last time it was a simple gather by Courtois, and this time he was forced into a very good save with his right hand. A rocketed effort by Dominic Szoboszlai. It was arrowing towards that left corner. And it's a very good save again by Courtois, called into action. And Liverpool will get the corner in the left-hand side. Funnily enough, this is the first corner of the night. 43rd minute of the game. And our first corner of the evening. Lots of Liverpool shirts in there. Everybody back for Real Madrid. Corner delivered in, right-footed. Away at the near post. Gravenberg will just feed it back to Bradley. He will hoof it up the field, but I think all the Liverpool players were offside there. Or at least the vast majority of them were. Mbappe tries to make a nuisance of himself, but Gravenberg has it under control, and Van Dijk just seeming to have fouled Arda Güler there. Free kick to Real Madrid. But see that shot again from Szoboszlai. Wonderful effort. Really clean hit. And the crowd were ready to bounce. And Thibaut Courtois with another very good save. No doubt. Thibaut Courtois always seems to have good games against Liverpool. I mean, he's a top-class goalkeeper, but the many times he's played Liverpool and some of the saves he's made, a couple of them against Dominic Szoboszlai tonight. And that big one-on-one chance from point-blank range really early in the game, and that one there, two of Liverpool's best chances tonight. But here's a chance for Jude Bellingham dribbling into the box, and Mamardashvili having to make his first save of the night. It's back with Vinicius Jr. Down the left-hand side, looking to work an angle. Feeds it back, in the shot by Arda Güler is comfortable for Georgi Mamardashvili on that occasion. But Bellingham dribbling into the box, gets the better of Konate, and a good save by Mamardashvili with his right leg. Of course, would have had experience against Madrid last season. Georgi Mamardashvili playing for Valencia. Liverpool signed him the summer before the summer just gone, and he loaned him back to Valencia for all of last season. As we enter the final seconds of the first half, and we will have 2 additional minutes at the end of this first period here at Anfield. Here's Vinicius Jr. Off the left, Liverpool back in shape again, trying to defend this situation. It's a nice step in by McAllister, and Szoboszlai there trying to lay it out wide to Weerts, but not finding his target on that occasion. And Robertson sliding in and winning the ball for Liverpool there, and they win the throw-in via McAllister. And the deflection off Fede Valverde. A goal in Bodo to tell you about. I said that was the only other game by this one that hadn't had a goal in it. Well, they do now, and Bodo Glimt have gone behind. Monaco have taken the lead there in that one. Florian Balogun with the goal has given Monaco the lead there, as Ekitike is absolutely cleaned out on that one as he laid the ball off, and he's got a real issue there. Dean Howson with the challenge, absolutely flying through. He's late there, Dean, and if any higher it could have been a different colour of card, but Dean Howson gets just the yellow for now. Ekitike's caused problems tonight. He hasn't really had much in front of goal, but his build-up play, his link-up plays, he's actually been really impressive to this stage of the game. Nice hold-up play, nice switches to the wide areas from that central role, and Liverpool get a free kick here inside the centre circle. Last couple of seconds of the half. Ball fade out to Wirtz. Will have a run at the defence here. He's it inside to McAllister, who's told to shoot by the crowd. And another good save out of Courtois. As Wirtz recycles. Robertson with a cross. Cleared away by Militao. Again, Liverpool trying the onslaught before the interval here. McAllister to Gravenberch. And there's no more time. But Liverpool with the last punch of the half. But no knockout blow for this first period here in the Champions League at Anfield. A very impressive first half from Liverpool, though. All the question marks over whether they could step to Real Madrid's level tonight. Well, so far, it seems like Liverpool probably should have a lead. But at half-time, it is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Sure, one last kick. This is going to be it. This is the moment. Vicario kicks this. And Liverpool are there! Liverpool are Premier League champions! And there it comes! Crystal Palace, for the very first time in their history, are FA Cup winners! Oh, he's found the net! Oh, what a goal! Kvaratskhelia is through, wants to add a fourth, and does so. Ahmad, oh my goodness me! That is absolutely unbelievable. Rice again. Oh! You thought he couldn't beat the first one. He's gone and bettered it. Another whip ball in. The header is in by Virgil van Dijk. Incredible. Welcome back to Champions League Live. Half-time, it is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0 here this evening. Let's tell you what's happening from around the grounds before we get into the deep depths of this first half at Anfield. And already two full-time scores coming into us from the early games. Napoli 0, Eintracht Frankfurt 0. A return to unusual ways for Eintracht Frankfurt. Their first three games in the Champions League this season have involved 6 goals. They conceded 5 in 2 of those games, Frankfurt. Had a goalless draw in Naples and a 3-0 win for Arsenal. Not a comfortable victory for the Gunners away in Prague tonight. Bukayo Saka's penalty in the first half, followed up by 2 goals from Mikel Merino in the second. Secured an Arsenal victory. No Victor Gyökeres tonight, but Mikel Merino stepping up like he did last season when there was no real centre forward for Arsenal. And he stood up and got the goals tonight. And that is an Arsenal side who have scored 11 goals and haven't conceded in the Champions League this season. All the other games, bar that one in Paris, are all half-time. Atletico Madrid leading Union Saint-Gilloise by a 1-0 at the break. They thought they'd actually gone 2-0 up. That goal was disallowed as of recent, but Julian Alvarez with the only goal of the first half against Union Saint-Gilloise. Giuliano Simeone with the setup. And Antoine Griezmann thought, as I said, he thought he'd doubled Atletico's lead just before half-time, but that goal ruled out for offside. So it is still only 1-0 to Atletico against Union Saint-Gilloise there in Madrid. In Bodo tonight, it is Bodo Glimt 0, AS Monaco 1. Another goal coming late in the first half there from Fuller and Balogun, with the goal set up by Magnus Akliush to give Monaco the lead there in that one. A very good moment for Monaco this season. A close game in Turin at half-time, a game that is level. Juventus 1, Sporting 1. The opener coming from the visitors, Sporting. Maximiliano Araujo with the opening goal, set up by Francisco Trincao to give Sporting the lead. But Dusan Vlahovic through Kefran Turam's setup has given Juventus a leveller, and Juventus seemingly controlling that game towards the half, probably pushing for a chance to take the lead. Remember, Juventus side without a win in the Champions League this season so far, 2 wins and a draw, or 2 draws and a defeat, from their first 3 games. And there's 1-1 at the break. Half-time at Anfield, Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. The only game so far tonight that without a goal in our 8 o'clockers. So keeping us waiting, these two. But they did in this game last season. A lot of similarities. There was goalless at half-time in the game here last season. Liverpool scoring 2 goals in the second half to win it. But Olympiacos are leading PSV Eindhoven by a goal to 0 at the break there in Greece. That goal coming from Gelson Martins, set up by Chiquinho, and Olympiacos leading by a goal to 0. They're looking for their first Champions League win of the season, and they are well on course for it at the moment. It is still ongoing in Paris, by the way, between PSG and Bayern Munich. There was only meant to be 3 additional minutes at the end of the first half, but I'm not too sure whether they've actually gone to half-time or not. I don't think they have, because there's been another big moment that I can tell you about in a second. We'll come back to this game because it's a developing story at the moment. We'll round up the remainder of that half-times as Spurs leading by a goal to 0 against FC Copenhagen in North London tonight. Brennan Johnson's goal with the only goal of that first half for Spurs to give them the lead. And Thomas Frank's side looking to return to winning ways at home after back-to-back home league defeats for Spurs. But an unbeaten start to the Champions League campaign for Thomas Frank's team, and they're looking to add a second win on the board tonight. Right, it is still ongoing in Paris, and I can tell you the latest update that there's been a red card in the game. Remember, PSG and had that crazy game in the Champions League this season on match day 3 away at Leverkusen, where they won 7-2, but both teams had a man sent off. Well, another German side against PSG have had a man sent off, and it's Bayern Munich this time, who have had a card changed. It's been all Luis Diaz in that first half. He's got both goals, and I think he's the one to get the red card. He is. So Luis Diaz has had one of those crazy first halves. He scored both goals for Bayern Munich. PSG also thought they'd equalised in that game. Ousmane Dembele finding the net, but that goal ruled out for offside. And now Luis Diaz, initially given a yellow card, and that has been checked by VAR and upgraded to a red. So 2 goals and out for Luis Diaz as he is sent off. Having a busy night in Paris, but busy no more. And it has just gone half-time there in Paris. So PSG, the European champions, 2-0 down, but have the extra man now going into the second half. And the man that's tormented them all night with those 2 goals that he scored is now no longer on the field. So a bit of thinking for Bayern Munich and Vincent Kompany to do at half-time to see if they can continue with what has been a very good first half against the European champions in their own backyard. And they lead by 2-0. Right, half-time here in the game we're watching at Anfield, and Liverpool have been quite superb in that first half, if I do say so myself. I think, if I'm honest, they're unlucky to not be ahead, Liverpool, and I think they've really, the tempo of the game, the intensity of the game, and we saw it from the very first minutes of this match. They're really intense high press on Real Madrid, and it was, I think, penning Real Madrid in down that left-hand side, their own right-back position. Florian Wirtz and Andy Robertson really penning Camavinga and Valverde in, and pressing really high in those wide areas to win the ball back for Liverpool. On multiple occasions, they have won the ball back in the final third of Real Madrid, just haven't been able to to really penetrate or make anything of those moments. But I think it's back to the Liverpool we seen last season in that first half, and I think a dominant physical side, Liverpool, in that first half, and reminiscent of the game at Anfield last season where they had the better of the chances. They just completely ran Madrid over in that game last season, and I wouldn't quite go that far in the first half, because I think Real Madrid have had one or two moments, but few and far between, if I'm honest, in that first half. I think they had a bit more possession, but Liverpool looked comfortable even when Real Madrid had the ball. I think Liverpool looked compact in their shape. They didn't look like there was many spaces to exploit, even in their one-on-one battles. Conor Bradley, I have to say, has been quite excellent so far against Vinicius Jr., and even when Carreras has come forward as well on the overlap, he's defended them very well, and even in possession, Conor Bradley's been quite impressive too, getting a yellow card out of Vinicius Jr. with that attack and run that he had on the underlap of Salah in that first half. But I think Liverpool have looked out of possession when Real Madrid have had the ball, not vulnerable, not open, and they've looked really compact and quite secure out of possession. But when they're on the ball, Liverpool, they're pushing high, they're pressing high, they're being relentless with their passing. It's been crisp and sharp and look really bright in the attacking areas. But it hasn't really worked for them in front of goal so far. That's the only area of the pitch that Liverpool haven't dominated in that first half, if I'm honest. And Dominic Szoboszlai's had a couple of chances, a couple of good saves out of Thibaut Courtois. No better than the first one that he made against Szoboszlai from point blank range. Really good save. It's a typical Thibaut Courtois type save, one-on-one, and a really good save from him. But he's made a couple of them in that first half, and I think 3 of them, if I'm not mistaken, against Dominic Szoboszlai. He's had a real cracker of a first half, if I'm honest. He's had 4 shots, 3 on target, Dominic Szoboszlai, in that first half. So very heavily involved in the attacking areas for Liverpool. But that strike, I think it was, I don't know if it was the 4th shot, can't really remember, but the shot that was struck really well at Courtois, that real rocketed effort. And Courtois made a really good parry to his right-hand side to make the save. But Szoboszlai's looked a threat from midfield. I think Wirtz has looked strong on that left-hand side. I think overall there's a lot of box ticking for Liverpool. I think from that first half, the midfield looks strong, the defence looks solid. Salah's looking threatening against his man one-on-one. Wirtz is causing issues. Ekitike, not really in front of goal, but certainly from his build-up play, linking things up, has looked really sharp for Liverpool as well. And Georgi Marmadashvili, when he's been called into action on the rare occasion that he has, he made a good save against Jude Bellingham as well in that first half. So I think the whole Liverpool team is, to a man, playing at the top level at the minute, and probably unfortunate to not be leading at half-time. And a controversial penalty decision that went against Liverpool, and a bit of confusion, a bit of kind of, I don't even understand what the explanation would be to that decision, and a penalty that was never for Liverpool, honestly. And the shot from Szoboszlai that was deflected, it came off the arm of Aurélien Tchouameni. The referee initially gave a free kick outside the box for handball. VAR then informed the referee that no, it was inside the box, but then told the referee to go and have a look and review the handball decision to make sure that it was right. But from my point of view, and I think from probably a lot of people's views, the rules of the game is that if it's a factual decision from VAR, if these basically that was a factual decision, he was wrong in the positioning of the handball, so it should have been a penalty, in my opinion, to Liverpool, based on that VAR said no, referee, it's inside the box, and the penalty should have been given in right away, but they decided to let the referee go and have another look at it, and he decided it wasn't handball, albeit inside the box, but he didn't give the handball afterwards. So quite a bizarre bit of refereeing and decision making there from the officials. But I think really Liverpool in that first half deservedly threatening the Real Madrid goal, and probably should have at least one on the board. But as it stands, Real Madrid holding firm, holding strong defensively, and their goalkeeper called into action multiple times. They've had 1 or 2 moments of their own, as I say, few and far between. Jude Bellingham with I think the only shot on target for Real Madrid in that first half. Sorry, one of 2 shots on target. The other one was a comfortable save from range from Arda Güler, made by Georgi Marmadashvili. But I think Real Madrid haven't massively tested Liverpool, and that'll be something that Liverpool will have to be wary of in the second half, that they have probably dominated the first half but haven't really found the net and made it count in front of goal. And Real Madrid will get better in this game, will have their moments, and it's whether they will take them or not will be the big question point of this game. But as I said, it was 0-0 in this fixture last season at half-time, and Liverpool went on to cruise into the second half and win it by 2-0. And it will be all about the first goal in this game, and who will get it we'll find out very shortly, because the second half is fast approaching. Half-time it is goalless. The second half's on the way next. Welcome back to Champions League Live. Half-time at Anfield, it's Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0 at the break. Reminder for you, more Champions League football coming for you tomorrow night. 7 games kicking off at 8 o'clock, and our feature game is at the Etihad as Manchester City take on Borussia Dortmund. Two sides who have had a very good start to the Champions League campaign, both unbeaten in their first 3, and we'll see which one will come out the better in that game tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Looking forward to that one, as well as Newcastle at home to Athletic Club, and Chelsea's trip to Karabag as well, involving the English teams. Well, so far, so good for English teams as it stands. Spurs winning, Arsenal won earlier, and Liverpool holding Real Madrid. And probably could be ahead themselves, but it's the only game that is goalless, as I said, at the moment. And the players returning to the field of play. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications if you haven't done so already. And we, as I say, thank you so much for your company here this evening. Great to have you involved and enjoying this one with us. Well, Liverpool kicking towards the Anfield Road end in the second half. Of course, kick towards the Kop end in the first. Real Madrid will kick towards the famous Kop in the second. Almost ready to go then for the second half here. Waiting on that first whistle from Istvan Kovacs, the Romanian referee, and we are back underway. A little bit of a false start there from Real Madrid, and we are now back underway here at Anfield. Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. As I say, a chess match in the Champions League between Arne Slot and Xabi Alonso. As I said, these two faced off against each other here at Anfield in the Champions League last season when Bayer Leverkusen came to town. And Liverpool winning by 4-0 on that night. I would say, despite it being 0-0, I think Arne Slot will be very pleased with his side's first half performance. Wanting to see more of the same, a bit more clinical in front of goal, but just more of the same, I would suspect, will be the idea. It's Bradley again out battling Vinicius Jr. and wins it back, finding Szoboszlai. Here is Gravenberch back to Salah, who works it back in the midfield for Alexis McAllister. Ekitike, nice step away from his marker. Lays it out wide to Gravenberch. Nice Salah. Salah against Carreras, steps onto his left, looks to loft the ball towards the box, and it's just deflected off a Real Madrid head, behind for a Liverpool corner. Wirtz and Robertson were the two that were in and around that area of where the ball was floated by Salah. And Real Madrid heading behind for the first corner of the second half. And I say, only the second corner of the game. Liverpool got the only corner of the first half. They have an early corner in the second. Wirtz to deliver. Right-footed. Off the near post, and a good save again from Courtois. I think it was Van Dijk that got his head to it. And Courtois with a fantastic reactionary save. Again, we see it again. Good delivery by Wirtz. It's flicked on at the near post by a Real Madrid player. Trying to see who it was that flicked it on. And it came onto the head of Van Dijk, who threw his head at it. And it was a point-blank range save again from Thibaut Courtois, who punched it over the crossbar. But my goodness, another massive moment for the Real Madrid goalkeeper again. Another Liverpool corner on the right-hand side this time. So a different taker. Szoboszlai will take it this occasion, right-footed. Roofed into the air, and the header from Ekitike. Another save by Courtois over the crossbar. Back-to-back corners where Liverpool have had free headers at Courtois' goal, and two massive saves again by the Real Madrid keeper. Corner taken short this time, whipped into the box. Ekitike's header is off target. But a very promising start to the second half for Liverpool. 3 successive corners, and they had opportunities at goal on all 3 of them. That one zipping just wide of the left post on that occasion. Ekitike with 2 big chances, one saved and one just wide. But that was another moment where Real Madrid just had to ride the storm there a little bit, and have come out the other end of it for the moment unfazed. Liverpool again in the ascendancy and not looking to step off the accelerator. Again, good press from Szoboszlai, forcing Courtois into a poor ball. And here's Salah with the ball now, running at goal. Mohamed Salah just seen too much to the Real Madrid defenders. Again, Gravenberch and McAllister quite immense. Although Canati, a little bit of a loose ball there, allows Real Madrid to win it back. And here's Mbappe breaking towards the goal. Mbappe plays it straight at Ryan Gravenberch, who will be happy with that, but Szoboszlai was quickly dispossessed. Now to Mbappe. Another goal in North London to tell you about. We'll get there in a moment as Vinicius Jr. hits it straight at Conor Bradley. Out muscling his man round the outside of Vinicius Jr. He's on a yellow card, remember, so can't do very much against Conor Bradley, and Bradley knows that fairly well, and does really well, which gets another round of applause from the Anfield crowd. You gotta say, Conor Bradley stepped up to the marker tonight, as he did last season in this fixture. That's a nice ball by Robertson out to Wirtz, who was crunchingly challenged there by Eder Militao, who gave the German no space, but Liverpool's through taken quickly. And Wirtz finding Ekitike, who tried to get round Eder Militao, but again, the experienced Real Madrid defender clearing it long for the throw. Van Dijk. Gravenberch stepping onto the ball and going down under a challenge. That's going to get Liverpool a free kick. Jude Bellingham with the challenge this time. Yeah, again, good close control by Gravenberch, and he's just clipped at his heels there, Jude Bellingham. And a free kick to Liverpool. 24 yards out, 25 yards left of goal. Szoboszlai, Salah and Wirtz all in and around it. Let's see what Dominic Szoboszlai can produce. He's already forced Thibaut Courtois into a number of saves tonight. Real Madrid set their wall up. Goulet, Huysen, Militao and Tchouaméni in that 4-man wall of Madrid. Salah and Szoboszlai over this one. Whistle's gone, so it's up to the Liverpool players. Here's Dominic Szoboszlai! Another good save away by Courtois. That's the 4th save that Courtois has made against Dominic Szoboszlai tonight. That one down the centre is Liverpool battling there. McAllister and Szoboszlai tracking back, but McAllister holding the Real Madrid player. And he's going to get himself a yellow card for his troubles there, the Argentinian. But one of those tactical yellow cards, you would call that. Just holding back Kylian Mbappe. Once he got a hold of him, he was never letting him go. And Alexis McAllister gets a yellow card. As I was saying to you about that, another goal in North London in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs adding to their lead. They've now got a second. Wilson Audebert with the second goal. And Spurs cruising towards another 3 points in the Champions League tonight. It is 2-0 to Tottenham in that one. Ball by Real Madrid forward that really didn't find its target. But look at that for a stats difference in this game so far. 13 shots from Liverpool, 7 on target. Real Madrid 5 shots, 2 on target. Throw into Real Madrid around about the halfway line. Again, nice little 1-2s there. Chouameni and Bellingham, and the ball goes out of play, which will be a Liverpool throw. Bradley takes quickly to Konate. Taking his time on the ball, Ibrahima Konate and McAllister. Nice little ball through the lines to find Bradley. Down the right comes Salah. Salah back to Alexis McAllister. Patient as well, Liverpool in times. Gravenberch, nice layoff by Ekitike. Szoboszlai brought down, and Liverpool wanted the advantage, but the referee's just going to pull it back for the foul on Szoboszlai by Aurelien Tchouameni. Dominic Szoboszlai getting the free kick for Liverpool again. I see it again. Just shields the ball, and Tchouameni gets absolutely none of the ball, takes the man out. Yeah, it's quite late there. Tchouameni. And a free kick to Liverpool again. On the right hand side, and a bit further out than the last one Dominic Szoboszlai had. But he's over it once again. This one will be more of a delivered free kick rather than a direct shot at goal, but you never know with Dominic Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai from range here. Opportunity. You wouldn't bet against him. Szoboszlai to deliver, and held up to around the back post. Wirtz was too high for him, and Konate couldn't quite get to anywhere near it. A bit of a mismatch there, Bradley and Mbappe, and now a bit of space here for Real Madrid on the counter-attack. It's Vinicius Jr. Down the left side, there's 7 Liverpool players back in an instant. Vinicius Jr. seen away down that left-hand side, but Goulet's got it. And the ball's worked back to Corredas. Liverpool flooded back there in an instant. Here's Mbappe. Out wide it goes to Valverde. Bellingham trying to get a bit of rhythm in their game, Real Madrid. 55.5 minutes gone. Still goalless here at Anfield. Liverpool again in the ascendancy at the start of the second half. Picked up where they left off the first, as Camavinga's ball was given straight to Salah. And Szoboszlai does well. Just recycle it back to Ryan Gravenberch as Liverpool have the ball again. A couple of sloppy passes from the Real Madrid midfield on a few occasions tonight. Camavinga's the latest of those telegraph balls just straight to Liverpool players. Here's Szoboszlai. Wirtz sees it across to Alexis McAllister. Now down the left is Robertson. Back inside to McAllister. Wirtz. Tight positions, lays off to Ekitike, who's dropping deeper. He's comfortable with their passing at the minute. Liverpool looking for the spaces. Ekitike, 3 players around him, and is dispossessed eventually by Valverde. Valverde with a clearance, turns into not a bad pass towards Mbappe, and Van Dijk committing the foul according to the referee, and a free kick to Real Madrid. Well, no more goals to tell you about for now, but there's a VAR check in North London between Spurs and Copenhagen, and they've decided, VAR, that is a red card for Spurs. Brennan Johnson, initially given a yellow, and has been checked by VAR and upgraded to a red card. So Brendan Johnson, who scored the first Spurs goal of the night, has been sent off. So it is Spurs down to 10, but 2 goals up. Copenhagen with a chance now. It's Camavinga sloppy again on the ball. Wirtz, the benefactor this time. And a poke it towards Ekitike, but again, Madrid get a foot in somewhere. It's Caoimhan quite acrobatically gets the ball out to Vinicius Jr. He tries to feed it in behind for Bellingham on the run. And Konate had that one under control. Cleared it out for the Real Madrid throw. Well, there's a scene of Liverpool greats. Steven Gerrard and Sir Kenny Dalglish. 2 of the greatest ever players to play for this famous football club. Here's Real Madrid down the right hand side now with Goulet. Robertson up to task. McAllister that time dropping in. Here's Bellingham. Mbappe. Caoimhan to find Carreras, who's breaking forward, and Carreras into the box here, and Carreras across. And it goes right out the other end for a goal kick, but a rare move inside the box there from Real Madrid, and Alvaro Carreras, the left back, breaking forward. Nice little close control with the ball and good dribbling skills into the box, and on that occasion his low lofted cross is right through the Liverpool box and out for a goal kick. So Van Dijk with a long clearance. Wirtz stepping in to win the ball back nicely. Ekitike couldn't win his first header, and Bradley pokes it into Gravenberch's path. Now Ekitike lays it off to Wirtz. Nice little 1-2. And Ekitike's away here for Liverpool. It's a 3v3. Ekitike out to Salah. Salah with a whip ball across. Flung away by Eder Militao, and Madrid just trying to get it clear again, but Dean Howson had no one to find, and out of play for a Liverpool throw. Here's Gravenberch breaking forward, and tackle late there by Bellingham, and that's going to be a free kick, and that's going to be a yellow card for the Englishman. You could see, even from the camera angle, the wide angle, the way Gravenberch fell, it was a late challenge by Bellingham, and that it was, and a yellow card for Jude. And Ryan Gravenberch, the latest Liverpool player to be curtailed, and another Liverpool free kick around about the outside of the Real Madrid box. So we hit the hour mark at Anfield. Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. This one right in line with the edge of the 18-yard box in terms of the width of the pitch on the right-hand side, and around about 23 yards out. Again, the number 8 Liverpool, Dominic Szoboszlai, is over it. There'll be another delivery, I would suspect. Szoboszlai, whip ball in, the flick-on header is into the back of the net, and it's Alexis McAllister again. Deja vu at Anfield. He scored the first goal against Real Madrid here last season. Well, he's done it again this season. And an unlikely header from Alexis McAllister has fired Liverpool in front. And it has been coming from the first half into the second half. And right on 60, it's Liverpool 1, Real Madrid 0. And you cannot begrudge Liverpool this lead, because they have been by far the better side in this game. Liverpool 1, Real Madrid 0. See it again, it's Szoboszlai. A delivery earlier that just went a little bit wayward, but this one beautifully timed, well worked, and a fantastic header by Alexis McAllister. One that Thibaut Courtois couldn't save. Right through his hands, the sheer power on the header just completely caught Thibaut Courtois off guard. And a wonderful header by Alexis McAllister. And it's Liverpool 1, Real Madrid 0. Although VAR might be checking this, making sure all is okay. And Istvan Kovacs awaits. They are checking this goal, the VAR. I'm not too sure what they're checking. Possible offside, but don't know where the offside came. I don't know. I think McAllister was anywhere near offside from the delivery by Szoboszlai, but just have to make sure. See it again here. He looks on. It looks like Jude Bellingham or Eduardo Camavinga are playing him on. One of the two. And the goal stands. A quick check. Check complete. And Alexis McAllister does give Liverpool the lead. 1-0. And look at the celebrations inside Anfield. Certainly one of the good things about a VAR check for a goal. When it's initially given and then when it's ratified and confirmed by VAR to be given, you get to celebrate twice. And Liverpool leading and now want to try and help themselves to even more. But Real Madrid will not go down without a fight. We know that very well with this Real Madrid side. But so far it's at least what Liverpool deserve. A lead in this game of any stretch. Free kick there, won by Eder Militao. And it is, as I say, probably what Liverpool deserve. At least what they deserve. Is Mbappe running into bodies. There's a Liverpool player down, holding his chest. I'm not quite sure who it is. It might be Wirtz who's down, but Mbappe still got the ball here on the right hand side, and the crowd are not happy that they still haven't stopped it, but the referee has now stopped the game, and Wirtz is still in pain inside the centre circle. A little collision with Kylian Mbappe a moment or so ago, and we'll see the replay. Mbappe just skipping away from Wirtz, and just a stray left elbow. It's completely accidental from Mbappe. There's no malice in it whatsoever, but it is painful. Well, you might have thought that red card for Spurs might have made it more difficult for them against FC Copenhagen. Well, it's actually not. They've actually added a third goal, and I think it's Mickey van de Ven with a solo run, and he's added a third to Spurs' lead. 3-0. As we see Eduardo Camavinga playing Alexis McAllister on for that goal. Beautiful delivery. Wonderful header. And it's just a well carved out goal from Liverpool. A set piece again for Liverpool. It's been their Achilles heel defensively at the start of the season. Well, maybe it's coming back in their favour in the last few games. And Alexis McAllister with the goal. And Wirtz is back to his feet, which is good to see, and never want to see a player injured. It is Alexis McAllister's first goal of the season. He got 2 Premier League assists so far, but no goals. He got 5 Premier League goals last season, 2 in the Champions League as well for Liverpool. That's his 3rd Champions League goal for Liverpool in his career so far. There's another goal in North London. I mean, Spurs got better with 10 minutes, now 4-0. They've added a 4th. It's João Palhinha this time. It's Spurs 4, FC Copenhagen 0. I mean, maybe they should get a man sent off every game, Spurs. They've added 2 goals in a number of minutes, despite being down to 10. As Salah trying to help the ball away up the field, and he's nicked it away here down the right hand side. He's could have played it through to Ekitike there, but decided just to hold on to it. And a nice return into the midfield for Ryan Gravenberch. Just sensible from Salah. Experience, just to manage the game a little bit. Real Madrid have had more possession, but Liverpool have been much more penetrative with their play. As Ekitike absolutely bundled over by Militao. Free kick to Liverpool again. With a quarter of this game to go, Liverpool leading by a goal to 0. Alexis McAllister's goal is the opener against Real Madrid in this fixture last season, scored by Alexis McAllister, was on the 52nd minute. And Connor Bradley with the assist on that one. And on this occasion, Alexis McAllister set up by Dominik Szoboszlai for the opening goal on the 61st minute of this game. A little bit of deja vu. Courtois sends long. Canati with the header. Nicely taken down by Dominic Szoboszlai and back to Ibrahima Konate again. The crowd are really enjoying this performance tonight, and rightly so. Liverpool have been at a high level tonight, a very high level. And Salah there tussling with Carreras and is going to be penalised for a hold on Alvaro Carreras. And a free kick to Real Madrid. 14 shots, 8 on target for Liverpool. Real Madrid with 6 shots, 2 on target. To this point, their XG in this game, by the way, Liverpool's is 1.51, Real Madrid 0.32. Liverpool have had 3 big chances, and Thibaut Courtois had to make 7 saves tonight. Some a lot better than others, as Connor Bradley steps in, wins the ball, but got a little excited with that pass, and it was well away from Mo Salah, out for the Real Madrid throw. So a change in coming then for Real. We're going to see Eduardo Camavinga come off, and Rodrigo is going to be coming on for him. So an attacking change for Real Madrid. And an interesting switch for Xabi Alonso. That's their first sub of 5 available. Liverpool, all 5 of theirs available at the moment. The crowd singing their manager's name, Arne Slot, as Gravenberch did well to get a shoe in there to win the ball back and help Liverpool to win the ball back, shall I say. Here's Gravenberch. A little bit loose that time. Salah comes crashing in to win the ball back, and only for a moment, as Real Madrid have it now with Bellingham. And now Goulet stepping away from McAllister. Goulet onto Rodrigo, first involvement. Trying to find Mbappe, who was well cut out of the edge of the box. Nicely by the Liverpool defence as Salah shielded there against Carreras. Free kick to Liverpool. I think Mo Salah said, if you can do it, I can do it better. In terms of winning free kicks there between him and Carreras. It's been a good battle tonight between Alvaro Carreras and Mo Salah. One that I think of both sides, both players have fought quite well and fought quite nicely. Good, firm footballing battle. Ekitike, calmness on the ball, finding Alexis McAllister. Lots of spaces in this movement, but that wasn't the right ball from McAllister. Bellingham has it back now to Vinicius Jr. Liverpool getting bodies back into shape to defend this moment. Bellingham, Vinicius Jr. Tchouaméni to Bellingham again. Liverpool with everybody back now off the ball. With 20 minutes to go. Liverpool leading by a goal to 0. Here is Rodrigo. Into the box trying to find Mbappe in behind, but again Robertson like a concrete wall. No way through on that occasion. Ekitike, little skills and little dribbles to win the ball and wins a free kick as well. And that's quite remarkable again from Ugo Ekitike. Quite fabulous. And a free kick to Liverpool. There's a familiar face warming up on the sidelines in Real Madrid colours for the very first time. Will he enter the fray at any point? Xabi Alonso wanting to maybe just ease him back of only coming back from injury, Alexander-Arnold, for this game. Here's Konate. Fired ball forward towards Salah. Bouncing ball with Carreras has to deal with, and does get it back to Courtois as Salah again continues to press. Courtois goes long. And Robertson comfortable there against Rodrigo on that occasion. Nicely dealt with. McAllister's ball a little bit loose, but it's nicely kept alive by Szoboszlai, and Robertson's a bit of space here. Trying to arrow it in behind, but the deflection off a Real Madrid defenders took it into the path of Ekitike. Ekitike into the box, taking his time. Waiting for the right moment. And we'll just cut it back to Alexis McAllister. Gravenberch. McAllister. And back again to Virgil van Dijk. Konate back to Bradley. And all the way back to Georgi Marmadashvili. Long there, and Fede Valverde was able to retrieve for Real Madrid. On that occasion, not much really happening around the grounds at the moment. To tell you about that we haven't already informed you of. Atletico 1 up against Union Saint-Gilloise. Monaco 1-0 up away at Bodo Glimt. 1-1 between Juventus and Sporting. Liverpool winning 1-0 here. Olympiacos 1 up against PSV Eindhoven. The champions of Europe, PSG 2-0 down against 10-man Bayern Munich in Paris. All Luis Diaz in all of those moments. And Spurs 4-0 up but down to 10 against Copenhagen. Here comes Vinicius Jr. into the box. It goes away by Robertson with a firm header at the back post. So Watchalong trying to make a nuisance of himself, as is Ekitike. And the pressure on that ball. Dean Howson couldn't keep the ball in play. Out for a Liverpool throw. Well, Liverpool's pressing has been quite fabulous tonight. Real Madrid, when they have had the ball, either Liverpool have stepped off them and kept really compact in their shape and given them no space to find, or when they have pressed Liverpool, they've pressed so intensely that Real Madrid have no time on the ball and no space to move into. It's been a really good balancing act from Liverpool on that front tonight so far. Wirtz, he's in his presence causing an issue. And Wirtz there did get the block, but the bounce falls back to Fede Valverde, who will go back the way to Thibaut Courtois. Shows you the chess match that we have on our hands tonight, that only one change has been made from either team to this point, with just 16 minutes to go at a busy calendar month, a busy week for these two teams. Real Madrid home to Valencia at the weekend, a 4-0 victory, away to Liverpool tonight, and then away to Rayo Vallecano at the weekend. Liverpool, as we've already talked about, the win against Villa at the weekend. Again here at home to Real Madrid, and then away to Man City at the weekend. That was a shot that was well charged down. Bellingham with no room to manoeuvre there. It was Mbappe, I think, actually, had that shot well blocked by Ryan Gravenberch. Liverpool defending deep. Well, not too deep, but defending compactly as Vinicius Jr. on a poked effort. That's off target from Kylian Mbappe. That's probably only the second real time he's got a side of goal tonight. The first one he hit well over the bar, and that one he's hit well wide of the goal. See it again, good cutback by Vinicius Jr. with a bit of pace on it. He took it first time, Mbappe kind of shinned it a little bit, and it was spinning away from goal. He spun so far away from goal. And that opportunity, maybe a little bit of a warning sign to Liverpool that they are only one goal up and need to stay at their highest concentration level against Real Madrid. Of course, they will know that, but just a reminder, that opportunity for Kylian Mbappe. Callister, they battled in the midfield. Szoboszlai stuck a leg in as a direct Ekitike, but winning on that occasion are Liverpool. Maybe some changes needed possibly for Liverpool at the minute. They look a little bit, not dazed or off it at all, I'm not saying that, but maybe Real Madrid just having a little edge in the one-on-one duels in the last few minutes. And right on cue, there's some movement on the Liverpool bench. Curtis Jones and Cody Gakpo, the two getting themselves ready. Right, another goal in Madrid to tell you about, and Atletico have doubled their lead. They thought they did in the first, but they now have doubled their lead. Conor Gallagher with the second goal on 72 minutes has added a second to Atletico Madrid's tally. 2-0. Sliced there by Rodrigo, and a really good first touch by Robertson to take him into an attacking space, and he's poked it through to try and find Salah, and Carreras across to defend and goes out for the Liverpool throw on the left side, but Andy Robertson still got it, no doubt about that, defensively and in attack. And he's got such great vision. Andy Robertson has got every pass you can ever want in the locker. Certainly one of the best fullbacks of the modern era, Andy Robertson, no doubt about that. And he's won Liverpool a throw in which he will take down this left hand side. 13 minutes to go. Liverpool 1, Real Madrid 0 here at Anfield. Alexis McAllister with a goal from a Dominic Szoboszlai free kick on the 61st minute. Robertson finding the head of Ekitike and back to Andy Robertson. We try to roll it forward, but Wirtz trying to get a foot in to block that one. And well defended, although that ball from Real Madrid again, trying to ping it down the left side and took the wind, spun away from anybody in white shirts and out for the Liverpool throw. So, as mentioned, that double change incoming for Liverpool. Cody Gakpo and Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones, of course, returning from injury to be on the bench tonight to get an opportunity. And Cody Gakpo, who was dropped from the starting 11 for this evening's game, he's going to be making an entrance. So, the goal scorer for Liverpool is going to make way to a rousing applause from the home crowd and a standing ovation for their Argentinian. And the number 10, Alexis McAllister, with the key moment of this huge fixture at the moment. Fabulous header from a beautifully delivered free kick by Dominic Szoboszlai. And Alexis McAllister, the man of the moment as it stands for Liverpool. And Ekitike will also make way for Liverpool. A good performance from him tonight. Not in front of goal, but in every other area of the field. His build-up play and his hold-up play was quite fabulous tonight at times. Ugo Ekitike. And he's replaced by Cody Gakpo. So Gakpo and Jones on for McAllister and Ekitike. And interesting what way Liverpool will try and manoeuvre this way they play. I think Gakpo's just going straight down the middle at centre forward for the moment. I was wondering whether it would be a straight swap, but at the moment it seems it is. Here's Wirtz and Gakpo surely offside there. He's left it to Salah on the right hand side. He was smart there, the Dutchman. Salah, space here for Liverpool if they can try and work an angle, but just couldn't find any of his teammates there. Mo Salah on the edge of the box. Carreras to clear it away, but Konate dealt with it, but a bit of a telegraph ball. Van Dijk's there to mop up comfortably for Liverpool as Gakpo on the field and really trying to get himself in the mix. And Real Madrid throwing bodies just to keep possession at the moment. Here's Militao. Just over 10 minutes to go in this one at Anfield. Liverpool 1, Real Madrid 0. And look who's getting ready on the sidelines. Trent Alexander-Arnold will make an appearance against his former team tonight. For the moment, here come Real Madrid down the left-hand side. A ball at the byline, and up and doing his defending duties is Curtis Jones. Behind for the Real Madrid corner, their first of the night incoming. Again, good break down that left-hand side. Nice work from Mbappe, who's gone to the left, and he worked the ball across the byline. Cuts it back, and defensive header from Curtis Jones. Well, Alexander-Arnold getting some last moment information from one of the coaches. Corner to Real Madrid, left-footed delivery. Deep to the back post, cleared away by Gravenberg. Lots of Liverpool players back, everybody back. The ball fizzed towards the box again. Shielded behind for a goal kick to Liverpool. And now come the rousing boos. Trent Alexander-Arnold said, whatever the reception he gets tonight, he will always support Liverpool. He will always love Liverpool for the opportunities that this club gave him. A local lad who left for the bright lights of the Bernabeu and the Galacticos status, and he returns to not the most wonderful of welcomes at Anfield at all. But can you blame them? Arda Güler is going to make way for Trent Alexander-Arnold. Fans making sure they know which club they love and which club they are loyal to. But let's not get into that tonight. Georgi Marmanishvili to kick long here. So the Real Madrid's second sub of the night. Remember, 2 individual substitutes in 2 different windows. So they've 3 subs left, but just 1 window to use them. Liverpool with 3 subs left, 2 windows to use them. Right, there is action going on around the grounds. We can tell you that PSG, the European champions, might not be down and out just yet against 10-man Bayern Munich. They've got a goal back in that game. And the European champions, through João Neves, set up by Lee Kang-in, have got one back. And there's also another one back in Madrid. Union Saint-Gilloise have got one back against Atletico in that one. Ross Sykes with the goal. And Union Saint-Gilloise maybe haven't given up on getting a point on the road tonight either. So some close battles as we edge towards the concluding moments of tonight's games. Here's Rodrigo to Alexander-Arnold. Gets rid of the ball as quickly as he received it. Those half a second boos were quite loud. Only for that split second that Alexander-Arnold had possession of the football. Liverpool again deep in their shape. Comfortable defending outside, out of possession against Madrid at the moment, as Militao tries to make it a bit more difficult with Rodrigo. Well covered, and the last touch off the Real Madrid man. And Andy Robertson gets another applause from the crowd for his bit of defending there. Goal kick to Liverpool. No. Xabi Alonso trying to tweak things, try and give his side the advantage, but so far Arne Slot's side have dominated this game for 83 minutes. Can they get the job done? This will be a big next 10 minutes or so of this whole game. Wirtz tried to reverse it to Gakpo, but nicely well closed out by Real Madrid. He's Alexander-Arnold, firing one forward down the right sideline. He's done that many a time before in the red shirt. And on the white shirt, it wasn't quite successful on that occasion. Here's Virgil van Dijk. A little bit loose into the midfield. Alexander-Arnold's header. Van Dijk with a responding header. And Gakpo controlling it with his head and taking it down nicely. And Gakpo is speeding it wide to Salah, who's got the better of Carreras, and he's took it on here, Salah. Salah off the right-hand side, steps back, Carreras with a challenge. Salah with a shot well charged and is still alive. Still in the box as it comes to Courtois. Desperation from Real Madrid there. Desperate for it to get into the hands of their goalkeeper. As one of the most ruthless players in European football, Mo Salah was billowing down on the goal. Gakpo committed in his challenge. Alexander-Arnold gives it out wide here to Rodrigo. Breaking into the box. Ball cut back and again hoofed away by Dominic Szoboszlai for Liverpool. And Real Madrid increase their intensity, increase their tempo, increase their attacking. They want to try and push for that leveller. Here's Vinicius Junior up against Connor Bradley, and Bradley has had the better of Vinicius Junior, the Brazilian, all night, and on that occasion he did again. Goal kick to Liverpool, and the crowd absolutely lapping up those moments. And young Northern Irishman doing some great work again. Just fabulous strength defensively. Just wonderful. Just wonderful. And look at the smiling of Connor Bradley. Well, Federico Chiesa is going to be the next sub for Liverpool. It's another attacking change, but maybe a little tweak from Arne Slot to what last came about. Not for the moment, though. In a moment or two that will happen. That substitution as Marmorishvili's long kick finds its way through to Thibaut Courtois, who will recycle again for Real Madrid. Pressing again intently, and Tchouaméni slipping on the turf, and Szoboszlai there to pick up the pieces, and now Salah swallowed up by a few players. Salah trying to trick them, and does so beautifully. Salah into the box, trying to create something again. Ball across, poked effort. Courtois gets it away. Salah again has the chance. Diving challenge to clear it away, and Courtois takes it under his spell. Another huge moment for Real Madrid, clinging on there. Salah with a touch of class again. Great ball, then poked towards goal by Gakpo, cleared away by Courtois, then picked up again by Salah in the box, and his effort well charged down by a last-ditch tackling from Real Madrid once more, but clinging on to make sure they're still in this game at least for the final few minutes, Real Madrid, to try and create something. As Rodrigo runs into a number of red shirts again, and Liverpool have a feeling they can counter-attack here again. Here's Curtis Jones. He's not going to go gung-ho with that one. He just recycles it back to Andy Robertson. Smart play there from the Scouser. And another double substitution for Liverpool. I'll tell you about that in a moment. As Salah finding Bradley, and Bradley getting the block, winning the throw-in. So There's double substitution incoming for Liverpool again. Chiesa is coming on, as well as Milos Kirkez. Big chance there for Gakpo. Well saved again by Courtois. Reactionary that time, and then Salah's shot well charged down by Eddie Militao. So the double substitution. Straight swap at left back incoming. Andy Robertson, who's had a wonderful performance tonight defensively. He's coming off, as well as Flocky and Wirtz too. And on will come Milos Kirkez and Federico Chiesa for Liverpool. And the crowd applauding their players once again. Milos Kirkez and Chiesa into the fray. Number 14 and number 6 coming onto the field. That was 4 changes now for Liverpool. 2 windows they've used and 1 left as Kirkez committed and firing that ball into the Sir Kenny Dalglish stand in the far end, although he's hurt himself at the moment. Milos Kirkez literally only on the field his first involvement, and he's, look at that. I mean, that's clean as you like from Kirkez. Tchouameni was the one that was the nearest Real Madrid player to Kirkez. A quick update for you around the grounds. Bodo Glimt now down to 10 and a goal down at home to Monaco in that one, and still all the same elsewhere for the moment. And we have this stoppage. Kirkez down. Look at this. Dominic Szoboszlai's shot early saved. Another big billowing effort from Szoboszlai, denied by Courtois. Then Van Dijk denied by Courtois. Ekitike denied by Courtois as well. Multiple occasions. But Alexis McAllister couldn't be stopped from this. Szoboszlai's delivery and McAllister's header right through the hands of Thibaut Courtois, who had no chance with the absolute sheer pace of that header. But I gotta say, Thibaut Courtois again, take a bow, because he's put in some incredible performance. 8 saves tonight against Liverpool. Quite magnificent. And a change incoming here for Real Madrid. Brahim Diaz is coming on. He's going to replace Fede Valverde. So Alexander-Arnold, I think, will go back to right back, and Diaz will go further forward. So we do have this stoppage for Milos Kirkez. We're just coming up to the additional time. We'll see how long will be added on, as Alexis McAllister makes sure that his hair is completely fixed, even though he's on the sidelines. And Kirkez, good to see, he's back to his feet. Penalty to Spurs in North London. Could they add a 5th to their tally against Copenhagen? Richarlison over the penalty spot to try and add a 5th for Spurs, to put a little bit of extra spice onto their win tonight that will be coming. So as the 90 minutes ends here, we will have 5 additional minutes to play. And oh my goodness, Richarlison's hit the crossbar. Underside of the crossbar. My goodness. So he's missed that penalty. And Vinicius Jr. again denied by Conor Bradley with another big challenge. This time out for the corner. Yeah, really fabulous. What a tackle by Conor Bradley. That's corner number 2 for Madrid. Left hand side again. Right-footed delivery up into the air. Away by Ibrahima Konate. Salah was trying to help out to get Liverpool forward again, but it's worked back out to Mbappe, who's beaten past Szoboszlai, but he's battling back Szoboszlai. And the last touch off Kylian Mbappe behind for the Liverpool goal kick. I mean, the energy Liverpool have given to this game tonight has been quite remarkable. Quite fabulous, quite magnificent, quite stunning. The way they've played tonight, Liverpool at times. And Mbappe just beaten to it. Heavy touch sees him out for a goal kick. A goal in Greece to tell you about. Olympiacos leading PSV, but now PSV have got one back. And they are back level in that game, so 1-1. Could be on for a point there, PSV. Here comes Gakpo. Well stolen away from him by Alexander-Arnold. And the clearance by Courtois. Van Dijk's header forward. Gravenberch committed. Nice link up with his teammates there. The Dutch contingent here at Liverpool all combining. And Gravenberch there bundling over Eder Militao. Free kick to Real Madrid. Bellingham gets it going quickly. Less than 3 minutes to go with a 5 added here at Anfield. Liverpool 1, Real Madrid 0. The crowd jeering every time Real Madrid are on the ball and celebrating every time their team are on the ball as they're seen out there for a throw-in, and the crowd celebrating that one again. Vinicius Jr. thought that it was a throw-in to Real Madrid, but the referee made sure he knew that it was a Liverpool throw, and probably should have been a Real Madrid throw. It looked like it come off Salah last there, but Szoboszlai ball in behind here. Gakpo's made the run, and Dean Howson gets the clearance. Up into the air, skied quite a distance as it's bounced, and Kerkez wins his header. Howson wins the second one to ping it forward, but over the head of Konate, and Bradley in there to win the header. Konate trying to block, Bradley blocking, and Konate mopping up. Really good combination defending there from Liverpool. Really solid once more. Less than 2 minutes to go. Szoboszlai trying to win a throw. Not on that occasion did it work for the Hungarian. Again, Liverpool have more defending to do. 90 seconds remain. Here is Rodrigo. Again towards the box, and Konate stepping away. Look at the dribbling from Konate. Easing it to his man in Gakpo. That was gorgeous. And now Liverpool are away here. Gakpo has fed it through towards Chiesa, but Courtois was alert and cleared it away long. Konate, or Van Dijk with the first contact again, with a bit of head tennis in the middle at the moment. And Madrid onto the ball once more. Here's Bellingham to Alexander-Arnold striding forward. Gets rid of it out wide to Rodrigo. Last minute of the 95. Alexander-Arnold's cross is into the box, but nowhere near any sort of threat for Liverpool, and Bradley quite wonderfully again sees it out for the throw. I mean, it's just quite fabulous, the performance from Liverpool tonight. Sensational. A couple of games coming to a close. Juventus and Sporting's finished 1-1. Olympiacos and PSV has just finished. It's 1-1 there. It finished, and Spurs thumping Copenhagen by 4-0. Here's Salah. Couldn't quite find it in behind for Chiesa, who made the run. Or Gakpo, sorry. And nicely won that foul by Federico Chiesa. And Alvaro Carreras, the one penalised with a yellow card. And Liverpool will be taking their time to take this one. Alvaro Carreras, the yellow card. Xabi Alonso less than pleased. Well, the 5 minutes are up. It's up to the referee now after this Liverpool free kick. Xabi Alonso looks on in a daze, although the referee's actually going to come over and speak to him, and actually I think he's going to pull a card out here, the referee, and it's going to be a yellow for Xabi Alonso. And Xabi Alonso with a yellow card, adding to the number of players he's had tonight of his team that have got yellows. And this Liverpool free kick, Bradley flinging it forward a little bit in play though, and Howson's clearance, and there's the final whistle. They've done it again, Liverpool. The Galacticos come to Merseyside and get dominated for the second successive season. Arne Slot's Reds raising to the challenge, and it didn't really look like a challenge at times tonight. They made it look easy, Liverpool. Alexis McAllister's header from a Dominic Szoboszlai free kick is what gives Liverpool the win with that sole goal of this game. Thibaut Courtois played his part with some incredible saves again, but he couldn't save Alexis McAllister's header. That is the winning goal here on Merseyside. You got to say, Liverpool by far the better team on the night, probably deserved to win by more. But when it's Real Madrid in town, you can never be too careful, you can never be too cocky, and you can certainly never rule them out. But tonight, Real Madrid never looked like scoring, never looked like threatening, never looked like they were going to come away with anything out of Anfield tonight. Liverpool dominant from the first minute to the last. And individually, some players playing one of their best games in a red shirt. Conor Bradley with an absolute stellar performance. Gave Vinicius Jr. little to nothing on the night. The centre-backs, Robertson as well, midfield, and the centre-forwards and forwards again. The star man, Alexis McAllister, he'll get the plaudits for the goal. But every Liverpool player, to a man tonight, were quite unstoppable. And they're winning again Liverpool, that 4-game losing streak in the league, that 6 defeats out of 7, seems a distant memory now. And only 2 games have passed, only a couple of days have passed. But back-to-back home wins and clean sheets. And Liverpool look like a completely different team all of a sudden. Final score at Anfield in the biggest game of the season so far, you would say, in the Champions League. It's finished Liverpool 1, Real Madrid 0. And let's round up the night's action then for you from the Champions League. Still a few games ongoing, and I can tell you there's been another goal at the Wanda Metropolitano, and it's a third goal for Atletico Madrid. And that third goal scored by Marcus Llorente, certainly scoring the goals quite a lot this season for Athletic, and that's their third goal, and that is all over now. The final whistle's just gone there. It's still ongoing between PSG and Bayern Munich. Bayern down to 10, but leading by 2-1 into the dying embers. PSG have had all the action of the last 20 minutes, and they are desperate to find an equaliser. We have, how long's left on that one? There's 5 added minutes. They've played a minute and a half of the additional time, so we'll let you know what happens there. In the meantime, let's round up the rest of the night's action. And let's start with the early games tonight. Napoli and Eintracht Frankfurt in Naples. No goals. Quite a stark contrast to Frankfurt's previous 3 games, where they've had 6 goals, either for or against them in those games, but no goals tonight between Napoli and Frankfurt, but a point apiece shared there in Naples. Big point. And Arsenal, 3-0 victors away in Prague. 4 wins out of 4, 11 goals scored. Not a single goal conceded for the Gunners. Bukayo Saka's penalty in the first half followed up by 2 goals from Mikel Merino in the second half, in the absence of Victor Gyökeres stepping up and scoring the goals to give Arsenal a 3-0 victory in the Champions League. It is just finished, as I said, in Madrid between Atletico Madrid and Union Saint-Gilloise. Julian Alvarez opened the scoring for Madrid in the first half. They thought they'd double their lead with Antoine Griezmann just before half-time, but that was ruled out by VAR. Conor Gallagher then did give Real Madrid a 2-goal lead into the second half. Ross Sykes made it a little bit entertaining for Union Saint-Gilloise, but a 96th minute goal for Marcus Llorente wrapped up the points and wrapped up the victory for Atletico Madrid on the night. It was to be a home defeat for Bodo Glimt against Monaco. Monaco scoring the only goal of the game in the first half through Fuller and Balogun, a former Arsenal player, and it got from bad to worse for Bodo Glimt. A red card. Justin Gunderson with a red card sees him and Bodo down to 10 for the remainder of that game, and not enough to get anything out of it. It was a point apiece shared between Juventus and Sporting. 2 first half goals. The opener scored by Maximiliano Araujo for Sporting, and an equaliser from Dusan Vlahovic was to be the decider. And ultimately the final goal of that game, a dominant performance from Juventus, but not a result that reflected it. A 1-1 draw there for them, and still awaiting their first win in the Champions League this season are Juve. It is a third win of the season in the Champions League for Liverpool, and back-to-back wins in all competitions, and back-to-back clean sheets for Arne Slot's team we've watched tonight dominate Real Madrid over the 95 minutes and more. And Alexis McAllister's goal set up by Dominic Szoboszlai, the only goal of the game to give Liverpool all 3 points. 3 wins out of 4 in the Champions League this season, and Real Madrid, well, they'll be heading back to Madrid pretty glum, although they do still sit above Liverpool in the league table in the Champions League, but that's not really important at the moment. But Real Madrid, another dismal return to Merseyside, only the second goal they'd actually conceded in the Champions League this season. In Greece, Olympiacos were held by PSV in the end to a 1-1 draw. An early goal in the game, Gelson Martins, in the 17th minute gave Olympiacos the lead, but it was to be late drama with Ricardo Pepe in the 93rd minute that rescued a point for PSV Eindhoven in Greece. Still ongoing between PSG and Bayern Munich. We'll round that one up in a moment when that concludes. But a big win for Thomas Frank's Spurs at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. In that one, as I said, back-to-back league defeats at home for Spurs in recent weeks, but they have dominated Copenhagen tonight in the Champions League to cruise to victory. Brennan Johnson with the first half goal. Wilson Odobert then made it 2-0. Brennan Johnson initially given a yellow card for a foul, but changed by VAR to red, so he was sent off. But it actually turned in to be a good omen for Spurs, because they added a third and a fourth after they went down to 10. Mickey van de Ven and João Palhinha with the goals there to round off what was a pretty dominant display from Spurs and a convincing result. It means they remain unbeaten to start the Champions League season. Spurs 2 wins and 2 draws from their opening 4 games. A great return for Thomas Frank, who's still unbeaten in the Champions League because it's his first 4 games that he's managed in the competition. So quite a start for him. And it is now over in Paris. The European champions beaten by Bayern Munich and Vincent Kompany's side. Despite being down to 10 men from the first half, were able to hold on and hold out for all 3 points. A massive victory for Bayern Munich. Luis Diaz with both goals in the first half. Either side of those goals, in between those goals, shall I say. Ousmane Dembele thought that he had given PSG a leveller, but that was disallowed. He was then taken off in that game for an injury, which is not a good sign for PSG, as was Achraf Hakimi, so a couple of injury concerns there for the European champions. Luis Diaz was given a red card, initially a yellow, then changed by VAR to red, so all the Luis Diaz show in the first half, 2 goals and a red card for the Colombian. And in the second half, João Neves with the only goal for PSG. But it wasn't to be enough, despite being down to 10 for Bayern. And the 25 shots, an onslaught in the second half from PSG. 19 of their 25 shots came in that second half. But they could not find more than 1 goal to get back into the game against Bayern Munich. And a big result for the Germans in Paris. That is all 9 Champions League results tonight. Let's show you what that means for the league table, and a couple of teams continuing on what has been a great start to the campaign, no more so than Bayern Munich and Arsenal, who have both won all 4 of their opening games in the Champions League. 4 wins out of 4 for those two, 12 points, a wonderful start to the season. And Arsenal, not a goal conceded yet. Quite incredible. PSG, their first defeat of the campaign, sees them drop to 3rd in the table on 9 points, still ahead of Inter, who are yet to play. They play tomorrow night, Inter. They have yet to concede a goal as well. Their continuation of incredible defending from Inter this season. Real Madrid are down to 5th now. Their first defeat of the campaign in the Champions League. Only the 2nd goal they conceded this season, but it was a crucial one at Anfield to suffer defeat for Real Madrid and get Liverpool victory. And Liverpool move up to 6th into the top 8 for Liverpool. They're on 9 points. Spurs come next in 7th on 8 points. 2 draws and 2 wins from their first 4 games. And Dortmund and Man City both drop a couple of places there, 8th and 9th, but they play tomorrow, 7 points apiece. Sporting in 10th on 7, and then we go further down, a couple of teams still to play. Newcastle, Barca and Chelsea all still to play. Atleti into the top 14 there on 6 points. Topsy-turvy for them, 2 wins and 2 defeats from their first 4 games, and Karabag still to play, as do Galatasaray. As we move further down the table into 17th and below, PSV come in 17th with their last gasp draw. They started with a defeat in the season in the Champions League, but 3 unbeaten now for PSV means the season move right up the table. Monaco also 3 unbeaten for them. Their first win of the season in the Champions League comes tonight. Atlanta still to play. Eintracht Frankfurt with a big point on the road. Their first points in 3 in the Champions League. Napoli as well getting a big point, and Marseille still to play. Juventus and Club Brugge making up those last top 24 spots. Bruges still to play, and Juventus still without a win in the Champions League this season. 3 draws and 1 defeat for the Turin side. And then to the sides that are 25th to 36th, the sides that would, as it stands, be eliminated from the competition. Athletic Club come in there, they've still to play. Union Saint-Gilloise and Bodo Glimt both in that bottom part. And then all the teams without a win in the competition. Pafos and Bayer Leverkusen play tomorrow night. Slavia Prague without a win, and Olympiacos both without a win. They've played 4. Villarreal still to play, and Copenhagen on 1 point alongside Kairat Almaty. They're both without a victory, but Kairat stay play tomorrow. And only 2 sides without a singular point coming in at 2 tomorrow this week. And Benfica and Ajax still to play this midweek, but they have lost all 3 of their Champions League games. That's all 36 teams and where they sit at the end of Tuesday night in the Champions League, halfway through match day 4. A reminder for you that we are at the Etihad tomorrow night as Manchester City host Borussia Dortmund as the Germans come to town to the Etihad tomorrow night. Manchester City and Dortmund looking to continue their unbeaten starts to the Champions League campaign. That's tomorrow from 8. And then match day 5 of the Champions League is the midweek consisting the 25th and 26th of November. So 3 weeks' time. We'll be right back for match day 5 as well. Well, just before we leave you tonight, let's bring you a graphic that we had created before the game tonight. Real Madrid were unbeaten in their previous 4 games against Liverpool before facing them at Anfield on the last 2 occasions. They've now lost both and failed to score in both games. Arne Slot seems to have Real Madrid's number under 2 different managers, and Xabi Alonso, both games he's returned to Anfield, his side haven't scored and they've come away with defeats on both occasions. Liverpool dominant on the night. The Reds over Real Madrid, and Madrid a poor return to Merseyside for the 2nd successive season. Good night.
It's supposed to feel.